Finally, I get to show you all the things I brought home from the gathering. Hi, this is Kelly with Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and I have a bunch to show you today, so grab a cold drink, have a seat, and let's walk through it. Now, one of the things to understand at Big Mama's, she's also Big Mama Sandy Moore, something or other here on YouTube, and I'll link her channel down below because she does some beautiful journals. But she's very giving. She's very generous. She's very warm and friendly and funny, and I just love going to the gatherings with Big Mama's house. Now, she has tons of stuff to share for junk journalers that attend her gatherings every year. And this year, I think we only got to see about 1/10 of what I know was down in the basement that they did not bring up for us to go through. But I am going to start with what I did bring. So I'm going to start with, some of this was what I acquired from the stuff that Big Mama had for us to pick from. And then I'm going to show you what I received from the other attendees as their happy mail or happy boxes or whatever you want to call them. So the last thing I did was I hit the fabric table. I got this, it's almost a flannel. And I thought this would be adorable in a baby book. I got this quilt square. There were lots of these quilt squares. And I got this one. And it'll probably go in a spring floral journal, but you can tell that it is an aged piece. So I'll have that to work with. I also love things that are purple, because purple is my power color. So I got this beautiful fabric with the purples. It's a patterned crazy quilt piece of fabric, but I love the spider web and all the purples, so yeah, I had to have this one. So I grabbed this. Okay, aside from the fabrics, I don't know where I'm going to put this stuff as I'm done with it, because I've got stuff on the chair behind me. There were also some who brought stamp sets, and over the course of the week I picked up 3. I picked up this one from Hampton Art. I kind of waited. I picked up one that I wanted, and then I waited to see what everybody else was leaving. And then on the last day, I picked up a couple more when we were pretty much down to just a couple, 3 of us. So I picked this one up from Hampton Arts. I picked up this Dina Wakley with the girls. I like the sentiments on here. She decided she was worth it. Strut your stuff. She believed, and so she did. Be fabulous. She is unstoppable. You radiate beauty, and you are styling. And then there were this set, 2 sets. This one was Sparkle. You were born to sparkle with all your heart. Never let anyone dull your sparkle. Live, love, and laugh. Leave a little wherever you go. Keep calm and unleash your inner, and don't be afraid. And then there was this Halloween set from Elizabeth Craft Designs. Spooky Halloween Greetings, 31st. I love that this is like a tag. And then Trick or Treat, the bat. Now, do I need any more Halloween stuff? No. But I had to grab it anyway. So I'll have these 4 stamp sets that I need to catalog and put in the boxes. I'm going to try and do that this week. I'm trying, between now and the end of next week, I'm trying to take care of everything that is sitting on the floor. I want my room done by the end of the month, or at least in a much better position than it is right now. Okay, the other thing I did was I went through the wallpapers and papers and wrapping paper that was available. This is a roll of several sheets. I think there's 4 or 5 sheets here of drafting paper that was Big Daddy's. He was sharing his stash, so I have that, and I found this pretty teal and brown polka dot ribbon that I could tie it up with. So I have that. What I need to do is get one of those big drafting art bags to put this in and let it straighten out. Because I think I'm going to use part of one of these in my 4th of July journal, because I need to print and able to have extra papers in my 4th of July journal. According to Dear Julie's Challenge, I need to print her digitals on papers that I'm going to want to use. So I'd have to cut a piece of this down to 8.5 by 11 and print her digitals on that. So I think that's what I'm going to do later this afternoon. Now I had this one. Oh, I don't know what got into here. It looks like, I can't tell if it's sealing wax or peanut butter, but it wasn't on my, but I have these wax sheets, World Daily News. Now I have a couple of these in other things. I have one from London and different places. Local flea market find sells for 1.3 million. Wouldn't you like to find something like that at a flea market and turn around and sell it? So there were two of these that I picked up. Mystery of Loch Ness solved. Hometown hero leaves legacy. Just some really cute and vintage looking vellum papers. So I'm going to lay these up here. Okay, then I picked up this. I picked up a section of this paper, and it feels like it's coated, but I can't even get it all in the frame. I'm going to turn it this way so you can get a better look at it. But there's the little Scotty dog peeking, watching the grasshopper, the ladybug. There's a frog here. There's all kinds of florals, a butterfly, a dragonfly. Then there's, turn it this way, and we've got a bee and a baseball and some clover flowers. So I have this, and I'm going to try and go ahead and roll this up really, really quick, because if I roll it up now, I'll know where it's at, right? And I'll know that it's done and over with. So I'm going to roll this one up, and I think I have a paper towel holder that this roll that this will fit in. Just like this, and then it'll puff out and it'll fill that tube up. Okay, then there was more of this paper. I'm not sure where this came from, but I can use it for printing on. Just a couple of sheets of white paper. That was part of the grab it if you want some kind of thing. Big Mama has said next year we can't bring anything except our tools, because she's going to have enough of everything else for us to play with. Then there was this wallpaper, and I may try printing on this, because wallpaper is something I need to use for Dear Julie's challenge. So I may do that. And it's textured, and but it's an off-white, and I'm really not using the off-white in this journal, so we'll have to see. Okay, so there's that one. Then there's this one. I love this. I love this vintage tone of this. And I took a pretty healthy length of that one too. There was so much of everything. Big Mama didn't want to have to put anything away. She wanted to make sure that we had enough stuff to play with. And after my 2 Happy Meal boxes have gone out, I will show you the goodie package that I put together for everybody. And then there's this one, which has a textured linen and the whites. Now this one I could maybe get away with in my journal. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. But wallpaper is one of the things I can use in the journal that I don't have to print on. Okay, so there's all the wallpapers, drafting paper from Big Daddy, all that fun stuff. So I'm going to take and slide this up there out of the way. Okay, and we've got those. Now the other thing I picked up was on the last day. Big Mama says I don't want to take any of it back downstairs. So I got this big white shopping bag. I got this piece of fabric with the little Buddha on it. I got this pad of paper. Everybody took what they wanted, and then I grabbed what was left. There was this red Christmas paper. This was something that we had, the stroopwafels, and so I brought this, so I have this to put in my gathering group journal that I want to put together. And then there was this big white bag, so I had those. And then there was these pieces of wrapping paper that were Christmas themed with the brush bottle trees. Put that aside, and the candy canes. So I have new wrapping paper to play with. Okay, that was from just what was around Big Mama's that I wanted to get some of that she didn't want to take and put away later. And I'm going to have to put that in a box. Let me move these out of the way. I'm going to have to find some place to store my wrapping paper and my wallpaper. Now that I'm finally starting to get some wallpapers in. Okay, now, I found this stamp. No, this is one that I took. I took this one. Friendship? Possibly. I'll have to look. That I put in everybody's journal. Everybody had a pass-around journal, and we did a page in everybody's journal. And friendship is something I used. Then Big Mama gave me this from Tim Holtz. It's the collage paper, Halloween. She knew I would love this, so I have that from Big Mama as a gift. Okay, then when I got there, there was a box for everybody. And I'm not kidding. Everybody had a box like this. So I'm going to put the box up here and take it away. Started with everybody got a piano roll. I'm not sure what this one is. I haven't opened it. But somebody picked them up at Goodwill and everybody got one. Okay. And then everybody got a couple of pages of the Chicago and Illinois Midland Railway ledger paper. Everybody got these flower stencils. Now this is a bag that everybody got. We had been asked to tell what our favorite color was, and then people tried to put things together with our favorite colors in it. This one I think came from Kat Kappa here on YouTube, and she did everything in soft purples. After I go through the box, I'm going to come back and we'll go through the envelope ones, okay? Then we were all allowed to pick up one of these, and I found one of these in purples and pink. Somebody had gotten the purple one, but it's just a dangle. Beaded dangle, and I think Big Mama had these made for us from somebody. So I have that. Then we had some dyed papers to work with. This one was from Susan, and I'll come back and do Susan's. This was, I think I picked this one up actually. There were a whole stack of these for us to pick from, and I'm working on a Paris journal. I'm not sure how I can work this into the Paris journal, but we'll have to see when the time comes. Okay, then I got one of these cute little pens, flat pens, and I think I got this from Tara. Okay, and then there was this bag of stuff, and I'm going to do the bags last, okay? Then there were these little things, and remember the spirograph? I love that. We can do spirograph stuff on our pages. And then there was this bag. I don't know who it was from, but it was in the box. And then there was this one. This one's from Dorothy Kilty. And I got another package here from Dorothy in the mail the other day I'll want to show you. So we're going to go through that. Then there was this book from I think it's a German book. But I don't know what if it was a German Bible or what it was, but I have those. And then we got a notebook. It's actually like a day planner where you can circle the day and put in the date, and you can mark the weather and the memo number, so I have that. Then there were these things. This one was a flower somebody made. I don't remember who did that, possibly Big Mama. And then there was this from Kat with an envelope and tucks and tucks and a tuck. And the tuck was full of all kinds of little goodies, all kinds of die cuts. And I think this was from Kat. No, this was from Sharon. I'm sorry. This was from my friend in Wichita. Sharon Madsen did these. Very creative doing the envelope like that, Sharon. I like that. Okay, then there was this, which was a stack of notebooks. And I think Tara might have done these too. Tara was a busy lady. And then there was this, and they chose this one for me specifically, called Comfort. In the midst of abundance, the harvest of good times is ready for the sickle, because they know that I am a fall girl. And this was from October of 1895. It was a sample copy for 5 cents. I have not taken this out of the plastic and investigated it. It's very brittle, and so I want to leave it there. Okay, so we've got those. And let's put the ledger paper back in the bottom so we know where it's at. And these other little pieces back in the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. And we're going to look at the envelopes. Now, mind you, this is all stuff I got at the gathering. Okay, so this envelope from Dorothy Kilty. She did one of these for everybody. She last minute wasn't going to be able to make it, so she did one for everybody. And then she dropped them in the mail to Big Mama for her to pass around. So we have a little vintage crocheted doily. I picked out a few of my favorite things to send to you. I hope you can use them. Don't forget to find the hidden pocket. Dorothy. Okay. So we have these little cards. We have this folded ledger paper, and I'm not sure if that one was supposed to, but yep, that one's supposed to be folded. So we have these. We have some thread, a ribbon, so we have those, and I'm going to tuck those down into that pocket so they don't get lost. Okay, and then we have this. Verbal score, fill in one box for each wrong or skipped answer. And we have these vintage pages. Book of Stories, A Battle with Snakes, and Gulliver in the Land of Brobdingnag. Okay, God's Nature, it's a sheet of poetry. Oh, music sheets. And then there was this one. Of Necessity, Gate at Romania made from sycamore tree is contrabalanced to swing easily. Working salvage. Now, isn't that an interesting piece to have? Do you remember this paper for printer? Dot feed. Okay, so there's that from Dorothy. And we're going to slide that back in the pocket so I'll remember that that's stuff from Dorothy. Slide it over there. Then we have this one. I'm not sure who this was from, but there's a little of everything in here. Oh, yes, I do. This is from Tara. Because Tara got everybody, well, I take that back. Tara's husband picked out a bandana for everybody. Let's see if I can get this unattached here. It's stuck to the sticker. Of course it did. There we go. So those big stickers. We have buttons. We have this little girl. Isn't she cute? Then She Knew I Loved Halloween. We have Hello Spring. This looks like Where's Waldo napkin. That's what it puts me in mind of. And then there's a couple of paper sacks. Tara knows where to get all the good stuff. Now, her husband does smoked meats professionally, and I'm betting these were from Brad. I love Brad. I'm going to take one of these out because I can use those in my journal with Dear Julie this month. Then we had a zippy bag with rings and game pieces and cards. The postcard, there's the pyramids. Which reminds me, I need to get out my thing of postcards. There's a little bit of everything in here. There's a couple of bee playing cards, and I'm working on a bee journal I need to finish up. Probably one of the next ones I'm going to finish. And put those in there. And then there's some word cards, brain busters. So we have those. I'm going to try and get these back in here flat. Okay, put those back in there. One of those little finger eyes. Okay, so there was that, and these. And then there was this bandana from Brad. He picked out a color for everybody. And a collection of ribbon. and I'll have to take this off and get it wound up and put in my ribbon storage. But I'm not putting anything away today. Just showing you all the goodies. Okay, so there was one. Put these away, and I'm going to go ahead and put these cards back in here so I don't lose them. Those are vintage playing cards. You can tell by the coloring here that these are vintage playing cards. So I'll put those away. Okay, next we have, and again, I have, unless there's a name in here, I have no clue who this was from. But we're going to unpack it. But they knew I loved purple. So I have this little strip of embroidered fabric. They also know I love Halloween, so I got orange tickets, and I didn't have any orange tickets except ones I had done with Kool-Aid. Don Quixote and La Mancha book pages. Oh, look at that rose, and I think that's a sticker. Very well could be. Piece of that. Somebody had used this from a strip of something they bought. And then there's a couple of these House 1984. Mike 1985. It's a piece of, it's woven on this side, but it's solid brown on this side. That's kind of interesting. Then there was a flash card. There were some of those in here. Let me get underneath here. There's several of those. Window, traffic circle, against, toward, or approximately, public. And that one with a chest of gold bricks. Oh, community chest. I have not seen those from Monopoly. That's a different style. And a flash card. Then we have recipe cards. Home Sweet Office, what day is it? I like that. As a planner girl, I like that. Not sure what these pages are off of. But I'm thinking they were from a Bible of some type. Because I see the word Genesis. Then there were these cards and envelopes, prayer cards, another envelope. I want to pull that one. And then there's this, interesting. Oh, you fold this up and it's a file folder. How cool is that? We may have to make one of those. We may have to make one of those. So I'm going to take and pick this up and slide that under there. Another flash card. A tag. No, actually, I think it's a little bag. It is. It's a coin envelope. And another piece of card. Music notes. Not sure what that was off of. There's a big napkin. There's a big napkin. That'll look nice in my Irish journal. More of the religious papers. Glitter cardstock. Turned into an envelope. Oh, look at there. This was from a wedding invitation set, I'm betting ya. Which was really pretty in that rose gold. Some dictionary paper. Another paper sack. I'm trying to keep some of this stuff stacked to where I can put it back in there pretty easy. More book pages. A tag coin, like a rabies tag or an identification tag. More of these vintage book papers. Vintage music sheet. A couple of envelopes. Grinding and date. Jewelers, so this would be a jeweler's envelope. Really like the size of that envelope. Yellow. Video copy of a freight bill. And Brotherhood of Railway and Steam Clerks. That'll go good with that other railway piece we had, huh? And registration form for VIP registration. So there's one envelope that I have no clue who it came from. And if you are watching this video and you were at the treat and you know where that came from, please let me know. And then I have two more envelopes, so that's going to be a little bit of a long video. And then we'll have one more video from the retreat, and that is the journal that I made, my round robin journal. So I have flowers. This is from Susan. Washi tape. This is Simply Gilded washi tape, and I didn't have very many of that, so she was glad to share. Game cards, playing cards. Oh, I love that one with the panther. Barley. This is from Pitt. Greetings and best wishes for a Merry Christmas. This is an old one. Is it dated? 12/22/20, but it sure looks a lot older, doesn't it? And then there's a couple of postcards, stamps, a leaf, a Post-it M, a fun napkin, more stamps, and I know the name of these baglets. My brain just left me. And then we have purple fabric, ooh, and more Christmas papers. And I'll tell you, by the end of the week, people that had brought stuff like these papers just wanted to see it gone. They didn't want to bring it back home. And then there's Friends Brighten Every Day. There's a piece of wrapping paper. Isn't that cute? Okay, so these were from Susan. And my flower bouquet has a purple rose with simply gilded washi tape. I'm going to leave that out and put it with my planner stuff. I like how she identified her envelope. Thank you, Susan. And then the last one was from Kat. And the way we could tell, even if they hadn't had names on them, we could tell who they were from was because Susan's was a plain envelope and Kat had the diagonal lines on hers. So we'll pull this out, and this is going to be the last one we've got to go through. She had napkins printed out. She did a luau lunch one day, and she had napkins specifically printed for the gathering, April 18th, 2026. Then we had this slow stitch piece. She had that, I think, from a neighbor, she said. Then there was this digital, some paper from a planner, this pretty paper, and I'm going to take and stick this up here with the rest of my book, my Simple Stories book, so I don't lose track of that. And then there was this pink paper, red. Not sure what this paper's from. She stuck something in the center. We'll come back to that. A bigger paper. The flip-flops were part of the decoration on the table. And we also had a lei. And then there was puzzle pieces. Beautiful lace. I'm going to have to put that away right away. Or put it on my journal. Wishing you a warm and Merry Christmas cards and a great big clip. A nice paper doily. And bee stuff. And I'm going to use the bees, you know that. Leave those out. And I'm going to go ahead and leave those out and put them in a case. I'll have a case to show you next week. A napkin. An adhesive pocket. That loads, looks like it loads from the top. Oh, come back to that in a minute for sure. Then there was Third Rate Romance. Vintage music paper from the original one. Vellum bag. Atlantic Pacific, this was ephemera. A S&H green stamp book. I have a couple of those. A couple of digis. She did that from a magazine to inspire us. And note papers. I can use note papers. I'm going to set that one aside for my journal too. It's going to take me forever to upload this video, but that's okay. And then there were these. And this. The sale begins in just 15 minutes, but Lady Crafty Dawn is running a bit behind. Oh well, she may miss out, won't she? Okay, I'm going to lay these back on here. Now this gathering one, and I'll use a little bit from everybody's piles in my journal. Now let's look at this one really quick. Oh, it was ribbons and blues and greens, kind of a sea themey thing. And she likes her sea tones. And then there was this card. It's sealed. Is it supposed to be sealed? It's going to get unsealed. I will open this at a different point and I will bring this back and show you what's in there. And then lastly but not least, there was this. We have a patriotic pen that I can put in my journal. There is this pin back, 250 years for the United States of America, and there was this coin. My heavens, Cat. She is so sweet and so generous. And she also does beautiful albums. And she's usually our girl who has a boo-boo. Can't believe she got those for us. Those are amazing. So we have that, and I'm going to find a way to put that in my journal. Not the pen. I'll have to leave those out for my pen, and actually I think I'll put them back in here. Okay, so that's going to do it for everything that I got at the gathering, I think. If I find anything else, I will show you next Friday when I show you the journals. The one I did for the pass around, one that I finished, and one that I almost finished. I think I've got 3 journals over there to show you. In the meantime, I hope you liked what I showed you today. Was there anything in particular that caught your attention? Let me know down in the comments below. In the meantime, please remember to share, subscribe. Thanks for joining me. Creative blessings.